up, everyone? Welcome back to Crossplay, our video game podcast here at the Whatnauts. It is Saturday, October 2nd, 2021. This is episode 92. Coming up on today's show, Konami is back. New World is the biggest game of the fall, and Alan turns 40 years old today. We will get to all of that. Yeah, such an old man. We will get to all of that in a bit. My name is Gino Viteri, and I'm joined by Kyle Springer. Which is younger than Alan, right, Kyle?
I'm no longer the old man of the show.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
You're no longer the oldest one. And Ignacio Rojas. What's up, Ignacio? How you doing?
Ew, hey.
The youngest little baby.
I am indeed the youngest one.
Little baby here. With
little baby boy.
With the wisest words, to be honest with you.
Just a little baby boy. Yeah.
The wisest words, the youngest boy. There you have it.
That's how it goes. Apparently, age doesn't equal wiseness.
It doesn't.
I could have told you that. I'm a dumbass.
Wisdom, that was the word.
So, Alan, as we said, he is not here. His birthday is today. So what does that make him? That makes him a Libra. A Libra. You guys into astronomy?
No. And I think that's astrology.
I've had asparagus once.
Yes, it does. So I'm not into it.
Astronomy is a science. Astrology is the other one.
Damn, I messed that up, dude. Okay, astrology. Yeah. So he's a Libra, though. He's a Libra, and I say that because my friend is also her birthday is 3 days from now. So, and she is a Libra. I know that. I assume Libra start in October. I guess. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works.
But anyway, Libras are tough. They're tough to deal with. I guess that's why Alan's hard to deal with here. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Very hard to deal with here.
Look at the chat.
Alan's a Libra, Gino's a dumb. Oh, man. Yeah. There you go.
Thank you, Kumail.
That's for you, Alan. So, guys, what do you think Alan's doing right now? What do you think he's doing right now for his birthday?
I think he's eating a giant burrito.
A burrito?
Yeah.
Why? Does he seem like a burrito guy?
Chipotle. You guys have Chipotle? You have Chipotle, yes. Ignacio? You don't have Chipotle.
I don't think so.
But you know Chipotle, right?
Yeah, I know.
They just added beef brisket to their menu. So
Texan.
So probably Alan's getting some beef brisket from Chipotle then, huh?
Probably.
Very interesting.
Probably.
Very good. Guys, I wanted to bring something up a little bit. Because I've been struggling, guys. And I wanted to ask you guys. I did want to ask Alan because Ignacio, you do school, right? Do you have have a 9 to 5? No, right? So you just do school. And Kyle, you work from home, correct?
Correct.
So I felt like Alan probably had the closest to how I felt because I know he works, like he goes somewhere to work and he sometimes has 12-hour shifts, as he's mentioned before, like shit like that. I'm struggling, guys, because I can't find the time to do all the things that I want to do. You know, I work.
I feel that
when I get home. So yeah, this is I want to ask you guys. I work, I get home, right? I'm freaking tired, but I want to play. Yeah, guys, on my Xbox that I barely use, I downloaded Scarlet Nexus, Astria Ascending, Artful Escape. I downloaded so many freaking games, but I still gotta play Tales of Arise, Life is Strange. I have to watch Midnight Mass, Squid Game. You know, like I want to do all these things, man.
Yeah,
and it's
man, you're screwed.
Where do you find the time if you have time, guys? Where do you find the time to like just do these things that you want to do? You know what I mean? How do you do it?
Funny enough, we'll talk about it later, but I didn't have much time to play any games this week because I have an important test on Monday, so I've been studying most of the time. But I always try to find the time to actually wind down and relax and do something fun. But yeah, also it helps not having that many things to to juggle so many things that you want to do, because I understand that I will not have the time to do all, and even if I try to do all, I know that I wouldn't give the necessary time to each one of those. That's what I've done. The older I get, that's what I've done with games, whereas previously I would just go in between games and rarely finish game. But not right now. I'm if I like a game, I make a point to actually finish the game, if I want to finish the game or not, before going into the next game.
That's what I feel like I've changed. Like I've changed myself to that. Yeah. Because like because the thing is, the way it used to work for me was when a game came out, if it was new, I would switch to that and I wanted to play that. But lately it's been like, I'm not going to buy anything until I finish this. Like that's how I feel like I've become now. And it's kind of just sad because I'm not finishing the game to get to the next one yet, you know? So it's like, damn it, dude. I got to finish these games, man. And they're all so good.
You also have the problem that you have multiple RPGs in your list that are so long. So yeah,
they're all so long. And the thing is, I haven't played Final Fantasy in like 3 weeks, guys. Just so you know, like it's been like 3 weeks that I have not played.
I don't know if I believe that.
Kyle, I think this is worse than we thought. I think that this is worse than we thought.
Yeah,
it's been a while,
if
man.
That's true. Who are you, and what have you done with Gino Viteri?
That's why I came to you guys, because I am struggling. I have not logged into Final Fantasy.
From my perspective, I just like I'm very much the kind of person who's like, if you are not passionate about something, don't do it. Of course, we kind of have to have a job to pay bills and stuff like that. But sometimes you can find a job that is just unfulfilling and stuff like that, right? And so maybe you have to find a different one. I don't know. But I really like doing all these podcasts and our reactions and talking about video games and comics and stuff like that. So that's why I was like, hey, we should make the Whatnot. Like, let me just make my own site. Let me just make a place that I can do all of that stuff, and then try to extend that outwards and be like, hey, I know it's expensive to buy your own website and hosting for a podcast and this and that, of like, why don't we all just come together and use this site like it's our own, and then we can team up and stuff like that. But it is the thing that I am like putting all of my resources into and my passion in and stuff like that. And I'm hoping that one day, right, we can all get paid from our Patreon and stuff and be like, damn, Gino, here's $500 this month.
Woo!
Good job, dude. Right? Ignacio, here's $650 because I like you better, right?
Oh, okay. I like that.
It's fair. That's fair.
But Kumail here in the chat, in our Twitch chat, touches on it well, just the way Ignacio said. I think Ignacio hinted at it. It's all about prioritization. The reality is we can't do everything. We have to just rank things in terms of importance and go by that. And I feel like I feel like that's what I've started to do, where I sort of start to realize, like, it's because the thing is, like how you said, Kyle, you got to be passionate about things. There's so many things I'm passionate about. You know, that's the thing. It's not just one thing I'm passionate about, so let me focus on that. There's so many things. And it's like, I've started to, I'm not as excited for this as I am for something else. I'm going to have to drop this. So it's like, so I end up dropping it.
You have to pick and choose.
Exactly. And there's that fear of missing out, that FOMO, because everyone else likes it or everyone else is enjoying it. And then you feel like you miss out. But at the same time, you have to think about, what are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah.
And if that's what's happening, then that's important. That's all. So what I've started to do was exactly that, was compartmentalize things. So I'm going to give myself, when I get home, I'm going to play this for this many hours. And then I'm going to go watch an episode of that show. And then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go watch an episode of that show. So I've been starting to like split my days up into times where I am focusing on something, and I've gotten things done like that. I finished sex education. Like I stopped watching TV for such a long time, but now I was able to finish that season that I wanted to watch, and then I was able to finish a game. We'll get into it in a little bit, and it is getting easier, but it's just now with everything coming out in the holiday, it's gonna get harder, dude. It's gonna get even harder, man. So it's like, oh my gosh, it's just wild, man. It's just like it's so stressful, but it's such a first world stress to have. Like there's too many fun things to do, man. And,
the last thing that I'll say on that is that I tend to go in cycles to where I'll be like, this month I'm all about comics. I'm just gonna read all my comics and catch up and read some new stuff and stuff like that, and then I'll kind of get burned out and be like, all right, I don't really want to read anything else. I'd be like, I'm all about TV shows and movies. Let's go. Let's fucking watch it all. Here we go. And then and it's like, okay, this month it's all about video games. Let's just knock out 5 of them. Let's go right here, Mountain Dew all the time. Let's go. Yeah, and and it just goes in cycles.
November is Pokemon versus Final Fantasy 14, exactly. I don't care about Pokemon though at that point. Sorry. Final Fantasy, I'm sorry.
Pokemon
I'm sorry,
way,
Kumail. Sorry, Ignacio, dude. Final Fantasy comes out, everything's out of there, dude. For a while.
You played it once, you played it all the time. It's Final Fantasy 14, man.
Yeah. Guys, let's get into what we have been playing. All right, guys. You both have one game here on your list. So let's start with you guys. Let's start with Ignacio. Lost Judgement. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I'm still playing Lost Judgement. I'm enjoying it a lot. I talked about it a long time ago, but once when I played Judgment, the original one, I had the problem where I had just finished a full playthrough of the whole Yakuza series. And then I jumped straight into Judgment, and I had a problem where I wasn't enjoying it a lot in the beginning because it was a thing of new character, new everything, but it's the same world, so you are not the guy that I like. But as I went on with the game, I liked it more and more. I connected with the game. And so luckily now I do not have that problem with Lost Judgment because it has been long enough and I already like these characters, so I'm enjoying it for what it is. And I like how all these Yakuza games, Judgment games, pretty much the Ryuga Gotoku games, I like it how it starts one way and you think, oh, okay, I know where it's going. I know what it is about. And then as you keep going and going, you start learning more and more things. Whereas, okay, there's the original problem, but turns out that there are more layers to it. And there's twist upon twist upon twist. And you start learning more and start learning more about characters. And so I really love how basically this studio has perfected that of keep keeping you interested and keep it and make you even more interested in the plot as you keep going. It also helps that the gameplay is the gameplay that I love of the Yakuza games, which is a brawler style. I don't know if this video has gameplay, but the system, they kind of simplified what the other gameplay systems of Yakuza have been, where you have your changing of styles. Here you also have a changing of styles, but they kept it to 3 styles. One which is pretty much a one-on-one brawler, one that it is more of crowd control, and one that is more of kind of like an in-between of it. It also mixed with dealing with people with weapons. This is the third style that I'm talking about. And so I really love it. I think that this might be the Yakuza game with the not only the best visually, but the most refined gameplay.
Nice, I should get it then, huh?
Yeah.
No, I'm
you should
not
definitely.
Stop everything else you've been playing and start playing.
Exactly, yeah.
Not yet. You know what I do like? I like the main character's fit. I think he has got a nice fit, you know?
Yeah. You can also...
got that drip, you know?
Yeah.
You can also change his clothes, depending on the mission. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm liking it a lot. You do not need to have played the first Judgment to enjoy this game because it is a different story.
That's a good.
It is a different story. It is very much a crime drama, a detective drama, let's call it, where the main character is a detective. That's the whole idea behind the game, and there are certain mechanics that play into the detective part of it. Certain interrogations, certain you look for clues and stuff like that. Not a lot to make it a kind of like make it a detective game, but it does have detective elements,
like Batman, like Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum.
Sure, yeah, in a way, yeah. And so I really liked it. I'm really liking it a lot. I'm I think 8 hours into the game, and I think the game is like 20 hours.
Okay. Oh wow, that's pretty short. Is that like?
You think 20 is short?
Yeah, but I feel like Yakuza games are a lot longer than 20 hours, no?
Yakuza games go.
You
they
can
go
spend
back and
like
forth.
120 in there if you want.
Oh,
but
yeah.
If you want.
If you like
Golden Path
the main story. I think I beat the first one in like 25 hours.
Well, that's the thing. They go back and forth. They go back and forth in the length of the games.
Interesting.
Yakuza 1 is basically half the length of Yakuza 0. And I think Like a Dragon is longer than that.
I genuinely thought these were 40, 50-hour games.
No, I mean, they can be. I pretty much ignore side stories. Actually, that's one thing that I want to mention about the game. Whereas, one thing that I do not like about Lost Judgement and its story is how you have the main story, and then you think, okay, I'm going to go do that thing or progress the story. But then they'll sidetrack you into making you do a side story. It feels like a side story and it sidetracks you. And I do not like how often they do that.
Yeah. I see.
That's one of the things that I do not like about the story. But even then, the story surrounding it is pretty good.
So what do you think, Ignacio? Is going to be on your list then?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Yeah, especially knowing how again the Yakuza games, the Ryuga Gotoku games go, where the more you go, the more into it you get. I'm so in right now, and I'm 8 hours in, and I already had a scene that was so emotional, so deep, so profound.
You cried?
I almost cried.
Wow. Okay, I like it when games do that to me. Well,
the game also deals with some dark themes.
Okay.
The main theme, quote unquote, of the game is bullying. You actually spend a lot of time in a school in this game. And so you get to know these students, and you have to investigate the bullying that's going on. And as you investigate that, you start learning about the bullying incident that happened a long time ago that drove a student to suicide. And so the game deals a lot with that.
Some deep themes then. Themes then. Is that okay? That's a good segue, Ignacio. Do you have anything else to add?
Play Lost Judgement.
Okay, play Lost Judgement. Good segue. Deep themes, dark themes. Psychonauts 2, Kyle. How's that going? I know that game is very deep.
Are we just gonna gloss over the fact that you're just like waving around a dagger here on the video?
Gino has swords and daggers laying around.
I have a dagger for audio listeners. I am holding a dagger. You guys have seen this plenty of times.
I have seen that. We know that.
I just, it's just like, how you're holding a pen. If you hold a pen and then you're just, chewing on it or whatever.
Gino is ready for the fight.
Yeah. Always ready for a fight. Psychonauts 2, Kyle, tell me about it.
Psychonauts 2, indeed. Yeah. I have been playing this one. I started it a while back and kind of ran into, like you had mentioned, this game is coming out, and then that game, and then Deathloop, and this and that. So I've went back to Psychonauts 2. I played the first one right before this came out. I'm enjoying this. Guys, this game is really good.
I know.
It's especially if you enjoyed Ratchet and Clank this year, this is another one to check out. It is much more stylized in the artwork, as you guys can see here in the video. It looks like Tim Burton fucked a Muppet or something, and that's the
good description there. Good
design. but I love the art. It's so charming. The game is genuinely funny and is a good. It's just a good, enjoyable time to play.
Very witty. Yeah.
It feels. What was that?
Very witty, right?
Yes. Yeah. Very witty indeed. This game also deals with like themes of bullying and how certain events happened, and sometimes that can destroy people, right? They can become depressed, they can become monsters, they can become things that they don't recognize. All sorts of stuff like that. But similar to how a lot of people described Kena as a PlayStation 2
Kena, Kyle, pronounce it correctly, man. I'm tired of this, dude.
It's all the same. This oddly feels like a PlayStation 3 game, but in a good way.
Yes,
like it feels like something that I could see on an older console, but it has so many modern sensibilities that it feels really good to play. It's fun. I just got done with this like psychedelic level where you have to put this band back together. It's the one that Jack Black stars in. He voices one of the
Jack Black
characters.
Good old Bowser, Jack Black.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You guys might know
Jack,
him as
Jack Black,
Bowser.
the voice of Bowser, you mean?
Yeah.
That's what kids are going to be saying in a few years.
I think right now I'm 75-80% of the way done. I'm almost done with the game.
I thought you were about to say about 75-80 hours in. Like, no.
Yeah,
oh my
you
God,
know,
dude.
75-80 hours in this like 20-hour game. I don't know what I'm doing, just running around in circles. But no, yeah, it's
Cool.
it's good. I highly recommend this. I think this will rank very high up on a lot of people's top 10 lists for this year. It's just it's solid, and I think now that Double Fine is owned by Microsoft, like we saw how Microsoft didn't really like interfere with them making this game. I'm excited to see the kind of stuff that they make next, because it's just going to be bigger and better. It's going to be so good.
That is an excellent segue. Do you have anything else to say?
No, I think that is it.
You guys are giving me some excellent segues. You're excited to see what the hell was his name again? You said Double Fine. You're excited to see what Double Fine is going to do next. You know what I'm excited to see? I'm excited to see what Ember Lab is going to do next, my friends. I finished Kena, Bridge of Spirits. Kena, Bridge of Spirits.
Kena.
Game of the Year contender. Guys, so when I first spoke about it, I said this is my game of the year.
Walking
correct?
back his statement. He's flopping.
So I finished it, correct? This is purely a 9 out of 10. It's not a 10 out of 10. Speaking of it objectively, I loved it so much. It's one of my favorite games I've ever played. But as I sat on it, as I simmered in the juices of Kena's credits, you know what I mean?
Sure.
I thought about it, and I was like, there is some things in this game that could have been better. For one, I think the story wasn't as strong as it could have been. I think definitely they could have worked on narrative design there. Kano, which is the main character we play as, was not focused on at all. I had no idea who she was. I just knew that she was this sweet girl that she takes the place of her dad, but we never see. I think we see her dad once, but he doesn't come into the story at any point or anything. Like, there's no driving force for her specifically, other than that she's just a spirit guide. So I think
just
that was
a day in the life.
Yeah, exactly, a day in the life, Kyle, exactly like that. But other than that, I think it's one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen. I think every single cutscene that I went into, I sat down, put the controller down, and watched because I was so invested in what was happening. I think the final fight it had different phases, and I think it was very exciting and very the way it strips you of stuff and then you gain it all back, and it's such a creative fight that I think is a very fun thing to have at the end to make it this final battle. When it comes to difficulty, I think it's way too hard for normal and then way too easy for easy mode. So that was something that they definitely, because I bumped it down to easy because I was stuck. I was stuck on normal. I couldn't go any, like, it was unfair the way it was, how hard it was. So I bumped it down to easy and I blazed through it. So it made me feel like I was cheating when I had it on easy. But then having it on normal felt like they were cheating me, you know?
Yeah.
So it was like, I don't know. That's one thing that I guess, I have an issue with. But other than that, I'm not sure if it's going to be my number one game of the year, because we are talking about that now. We're ramping up. We're ramping up to that. What's going to be our games of the year and stuff like that. There's definitely high on my list. I would say top 5 or top 3 at the very least. But 100%. Yeah, I finished it and it's incredible. I definitely recommend it. And as I said, and I saw someone in chat, not in chat, on Twitter say this game could have gotten away with being $70. It could have gotten away, or 60. I think the 60 because it was cross generation. Could have gotten away with 100%. Because there's games of lower quality that are worth more. So I'm sorry. Definitely, it could have gotten away with it. But anyway,
Camille in the chat says the difficulty surprised me too.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, that it was weird how hard it was, and then how easy it became when you switched it, when you bumped it down. That was that's definitely something I got to work on.
But so, Gino, is it your game of the year so far, or do you have another one, or do you think another one will come that will dethrone it?
It is my game of the year so far. But the thing is, I know that Final Fantasy will dethrone it, but I think that makes it unfair to every single other game that I'm gonna play. So
you won't even play it clearly.
So I'm thinking objectively, because how it would rank. So we'll see. We will see. What do I have next here? So I want to touch on 2 other games that I downloaded on Game Pass. Astria Ascending, which just came out, I think last week on Thursday. And I played for like 30 minutes. This game, I was looking forward to it. It's not getting great reviews. I understand why. The voice acting is so weird. I could have been in this, and that it would have been normal. The writing is off too. It's like they do things like, God, it's just there's like these little fairies that came and told me like the town was in danger, and then like they're like switching off words off each other. Like they're completing a sentence, but they're all doing one word. It's like, it's just a little annoying. Relax, dude. And then the first mission, I got lost, and I don't like that. Like, tell me where to go. Don't just tell me where it is that I have to go. I have no idea what this world is. Why are you telling me I have to go to Hollowscape? And this is the first time I'm playing. How do I get there? And it doesn't tell me. So it's so weird. But then as soon as I finally figured out, after half an hour, I figured out how to get to where I was going. I got into combat. Combat's really fun. The art style is really fun. This is, if you don't know, it's like a side-scrolling. What's that game? King's Crown, made by Vanilla.
No idea.
Give me something else.
God. Odin's Sphere, Leif Drusir. He has nothing. King's Crown. It's not King's Crown. It's Crown something. Whatever. It's like this side-scrolling, beautifully hand-drawn characters.
Is it
on this
the
painted
PS
world?
Vita game?
Yeah.
By any chance?
There is a PS Vita game of it, but it's a PlayStation game. like normal PS4.
Was
it was on PS3 as well. I forgot what it was called, man, but Crowns something. Anyway.
Yeah, I can picture the box art. I cannot.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's that sort of art style, where you're side scrolling and then it's turn-based RPG, and that's all I had to say about it. This is one of those games where I'm like, okay, I gotta drop this one because there's so many games to play. So yeah. So Astria, that's Astria Ascending, but it is worth a try if you like those kinds of games on Game Pass. It's free on Game Pass. And another game that I played on Game Pass was The Artful Escape. So have you guys heard of this game? Kyle.
I have heard of it.
Have you played this game, Kyle?
Dragon's Crown.
Dragon's Crown, that's the one. Dragon's Crown.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Kyle, this is The Artful Escape. As I was playing it, I was like, Kyle would like this game. Have you thought about playing this game?
I've heard good things. Tim Geddes at Kind of Funny was like, this is one of my favorite like pieces of media in 2021 period. So yeah, I'm interested in checking it out, but I've not gotten there yet.
I heard his high praises of it, and I was like, wow, that sounds pretty wild. And I have played it for like about 2 hours. And it is so wild. It is such an interesting game. It is so cool. It's basically like, how he described it. You know how he described it. It's just a walking simulator, pretty much. Where you're traversing space and time and all that stuff. And then you're playing your instrument. And as you're playing your instrument, you're lighting up the sky and the environment and all that stuff. And it's just like when you mentioned Psychonauts, psychedelic. It's like that. This is one of those games. If you smoke marijuana, you do mushrooms, you do any of that stuff, make sure you pop one in before you start playing this, because you're gonna go for a freaking trip, my friends. It's so cool. It's such a cool game, and I found myself, as I kept playing, I found myself saying, wow, like, whoa, this is cool. This is crazy.
Whoa, wow.
So, and it is one of those games that I like to just like, I start playing it before bed. I'm just, laying in bed and just walking, because it's not an intensive game at all. As you see there in like in the video that we're playing, how he had those little cuts, those quick cuts. That's what happens every time you go to like another scene or something. It's just like quick cuts, like really, really cool, interesting cuts. And it's so, I don't know, man. This game is so interesting. It's so cool. And the music that you play, as you play the guitar, it goes along with the background music that's playing. I don't know how it does it, but it always goes so well with it. And then there is like these sort of boss fights where they play notes on their face, and on your controller you have the LB, RB, Y, X, and B, where you have to play those same notes. So you both are making a song together.
Rhythm game.
Exactly. You both are making a song together, and then eventually you both start doing it at the same time, and it's just like this composition of incredible freaking, this huge final guitar strum, and it's like everything goes wild, and it's so cool. It's such an interesting game. But yeah, so I am gonna keep playing that. I am for sure gonna, and you should definitely try it. I suggest you try it, Kyle. You would like it. I don't know about you, Ignacio, you'd probably like it too. I mean, I think it's because the thing is, because when Tim Geddes spoke about it, there was the other guys that were not interested in it at all. So I think it is that kind of game that it's just like, it's not for everyone, but if it is for you, you are gonna like it.
Hit.
Yeah, you are gonna like it. So, and I'm liking it. I'm definitely liking it. So last game I have here, not too much to say about it. New World. Oh, we're gonna talk about it later.
New world.
Yeah. A whole new world.
Don't you dare close your eyes.
You guys, you know what? Just sing it, and then we'll talk about it later. Go ahead. Keep
You
singing.
know what? Let's just end the podcast after we sing it, and then we don't even have to hear him talk. You know.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let me hear your pipes, Ignacio. Come on, let me hear him. Let me hear him. Don't be shy.
I can show you the
There you
world.
go.
Shining, shimmering,
Beautiful.
splendid.
Damn, that's really good. Really good, actually. Really good.
Don't make me sing because I'll do it.
New World, guys. As I've said, I've played New World before. You guys know about it. New World is quite addicting. It's a very good game. But the majority of the time that I've spent playing it has been sitting in a queue. So
Yeah.
So yeah, I have played probably a total of 3 hours, but my game time would probably be closer to 15 hours. So but yeah, this is a very fun game. It is an MMO, as you guys know. I very much love MMOs, but this is a different kind of MMO. So yes, we are going to talk about it more in depth later. So I don't want to bring everything up now, but I do want to say I'm enjoying it, and it is a good game, and I'm having fun with it.
Gino.
Yes.
I like to make fun of Final Fantasy 14 for good reason.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of people that do not play MMOs that are giving this game a try. Like Greg Miller, we know he gave it a try, but he would never ever play Final Fantasy 14.
Yes, absolutely not.
If I am a person that doesn't like 14 or that doesn't play MMOs, is there anything in there for me? Why would I get into it?
100%. 100%.
Good question.
And that is what I did want to talk to you guys about when we talk about the game. Should I scrap that news article and talk about it here? What do you guys think?
Go for it.
Sure, yeah.
Just scrap it and talk about it here?
Yeah.
I don't see why we can't revisit it again and just do like a shortened version.
Okay, yeah, we could. Well, I mean, I was going to convince you guys to try it out, is what I was going to do in that.
Yeah, go for it.
Article. So, okay, so since you asked, Ignacio, this is 100% a game for you. If you don't like MMOs, this is... The MMO part of this is massively multiplayer online. That's all it is. When you drop into the world, you're gonna see hundreds of players playing the same thing you are. The cool thing is there's proximity chat, so there's people screaming in towns, or someone come help you out, and then you just press the button to talk, and you're like, hey, thanks, man. They'll be like, no problem, dude, and then they're out of there. It's like that's just that cool sort of community with it. But the main reason a lot of people are getting interested in it is because of the gameplay specifically. This isn't your regular tab targeting MMO where you press your buttons to do your skills and then you do the regular auto attack. No, this one you are doing your main auto attack based off of what weapon you're using. You either have you have a spear, you have a hammer, you have a great axe, you have a sword and shield. You have different staffs. You have an ice gauntlet to shoot ice, and there's all these different kinds of ways to play. But you also are, if you just mash buttons, it's going to be hard for you. If you're not dodging, if you're not blocking, if you're not running around, then it's going to start getting hard because the combat is extremely engaging. And I think that's what...
It sounds to me like the gameplay belongs more in a Demon Souls game, or a Neo, an action game.
It is. It's a lot more of an action game than it is an MMO. So when you're coming in here, this is a game that you need to grind for, because every single thing that you're doing, there's a level for. So you're going to chop down trees, you're going to gain level on chopping down trees, you're going to mine rocks and ore, you're going to gain level on doing that.
I heard that was a thing. It reminds me a lot of, I don't know if you played it back in the day, RuneScape.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
It reminds me a lot of those days. So
this is...
you go into the mines to mine, get experience to that.
Yeah,
mine a better thing.
This is like RuneScape 2, this is exactly what that is.
Yeah.
But it is it's cool. There's things that you do need to group up for, because there's harder monsters out there, and there's dungeons that you need to go in a group with. But it's really fun. The gameplay loop is fun. The things that you're grinding for, they're fun to do. You know, it's there's a lot of something that games can pull off well and or maybe mess up, and then that doesn't keep you addicted, is the sounds. So when you're mining or chopping down wood or something, it sounds pleasant. You know, it sounds like you just want to keep doing this. You know, that's what they've pulled off so
calm
well.
Calm and peaceful, right?
Yeah. So if you just, I'm gonna focus today on leveling up my wood cutting. So you're just gonna go ahead and do that. Then you're just gonna chop a bunch of trees. As you keep leveling up, you could chop down different kinds of trees, mature trees, and there's these glowing blue trees, and then also all this other stuff. Some things that are negative about it is the traverse, the what is it? The travel. You are walking everywhere. There's no mounts.
Yeah. I heard about that.
Yeah, eventually you do get to teleport often to, you know, small little towns and stuff like that, but you have a currency for that, and if you're out of it, you're out of luck, dude. You gotta just freaking, you know, you gotta walk.
Yeah, and I hear that some people would rather kill themselves than
that's the thing. Yeah, people kill themselves to teleport back wherever they gotta go, because I don't think there's no penalty for dying.
That's what I was just about to ask. Like, is there, if that's the case, like, is there some kind of penalty or some kind of like, hey, if you die, you lose all your money?
No, I know of. No, there isn't any penalty, because I've died once, I think, and it just teleported me back to town, and that was it.
Interesting.
But yeah, so there is the PvP aspect of it, which is a huge part of it. But you could choose to not take part in it if you don't want to, which I haven't yet. Where there's these 3 factions, of course. I am part of the Syndicates, so go Syndicates. And the Purple Team. And basically, you control different territories on the map. So if we control this town called First Light, the market board there where the players sell stuff and things like that, we are taxed less than the Covenant or the Marauders, because we own this town, you know? So we are treated better. We are given resources here. We have, you know, better, whatever it is. We have better stuff here because we own this town.
Sure, yeah.
And the Marauders, for example, can come and start attacking or whatever, and if you have your PvP on, and then eventually they'll declare war. So that will become a PvP match where I think it's 50 versus 50. You end up signing up for it. There's hundreds of people signing up for it. And the guild that owns the town. So, for example, if I was in the guild called Mine is the Warriors of Darkness, if we're the ones that was controlling that city, we get to choose who goes to war. And then the Marauders, the guild that is attacking there, they get to choose who goes to war. So these guilds are fighting based off of anyone that signed up for it. And if the Marauders win, then they take the town and they own it now. But if we win, then we keep it. And then that's ours. So basically,
It kind of sounds like a much more thought out version of the like Spartan battles in Assassin's Creed, right? Where you had those like big fights and then everyone was sitting there, but it's actually like real players sitting there having this big fight, and there's actual consequences, and hey, if you win, then you get, you know, these discounts and stuff like that on this material and stuff like that. Yeah,
Lewis Cool in the chat just said they actually just had a huge fight for a fort. So many people. So yeah, it's
nice.
It's really cool events that you get to be a part of. That it's just everyone goes at it. You know, you have your certain builds or whatever, and you just go to war to defend your town, or you take one. And that's the majority. That's all of the map, pretty much, where it's divided and based off of who's taken that location.
So if that happens and I'm just regular me, I do not want war, or I'm not gonna participate in this particular war, does that affect me if I go to that town to just do whatever?
No, if you don't have your PvP on, then you won't be a part of it.
And if I do?
If you turn your PvP on, if somebody else has their PvP on, they can attack you in the open world. You can easily be attacked.
I mean, for these wars where you fight over control over a certain town, if I go to that town, is that war going on and I just cannot do?
No. Yeah, you could be in it. It's like an instance thing. That if they go to war, it's an instance thing. I believe. I haven't done it, but I believe it is instanced. So you go to a battlefield or whatever, and then you fight there.
Oh, so you do not fight in the...
You don't fight in the town, or in the city, no.
Oh, man, that would have been cool.
That would be cool, actually. That would be cool. But the thing is, when they are trying to take the town, you do see them fighting outside of it. Because they aren't at war yet, but they have these players that have PvP on, and they're fighting outside of the city. They're fighting each other. So yeah, this is cool.
I have 3 questions.
3 more questions.
Number one. Is there controller support?
No.
Son of a... See, that's...
This would be a game for controller
break,
support.
And that was a break.
I don't believe there is controller support. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen anyone talk about it, and I don't think there is. So yeah. We'll see.
Number two.
Yes.
Is it free to play?
One-time purchase. That's it.
See, that's another strike. You're 2 strikes already.
What do you mean? It's not subscription like Final Fantasy. It's $40.
But if I just want to try it out, I'm gonna.
Maybe you should have tried the beta, huh, Ignacio? Come on.
Yeah. Well, no one was talking about the beta back then. And the third one, is it subscription based? No?
I just told you no.
Is there? No, but not subscription based. Is there like
a battle pass?
RuneScape, you had your free version.
No, there's
the membership.
Yeah, no, there's nothing like that. No.
Okay. 2 out of 3 strike. Okay.
Also, Lou plays on controller. Lou here in the chat here plays on controller. You have to map every key, but it works.
No.
Interesting.
So it is a workaround. It's not actually
supported. Yeah. I mean, the best controller support of any MMO is Final Fantasy 14 Online. We know that.
Yeah, but no one wants to play that game. No one want to play that game.
So I do want to mention some things about it. I won't talk about this
how
later.
Much is it?
$40. $40 is it.
Okay.
$40. So
40's not bad at all.
This has risen to number 2 game on Steam. Might be number 1 now. I don't know. By the time when I read it, there was about 700,000 concurrent players, and that is rising. It has more than 1 million players logged in on launch day. That's a shit ton of people, guys. That is a lot of people. So I had a queue on launch day of like 9,000 people before me, and I didn't finish it. I got out of the queue. But when I first tried, when I wanted to get into it, I put myself in the queue, waited 5 hours. 5 hours to play the game. And then I started playing. And that sucks. That really sucks. But the thing is,
Gino's sitting there like, man, I don't have time to do anything. Meanwhile, he's just sitting there doing absolutely nothing for 5 hours.
So,
just waiting.
But yeah, so the thing is, Amazon has done well about it. They added a bunch of servers for people to play on, and they're allowing people to transfer servers so they can go back to the one they wanted to be on when the queue's better and stuff like that. So they are dealing with it well.
Good for them.
And yeah, that's another thing I wanted to mention. I'll scrap the story, but Amazon, as we know, worked on Crucible. They had a Lord of the Rings MMO that they canceled. And Crucible, if you don't know, it was like a not a battle royale, but a team-based Overwatch kind of game.
It was the game that they released and then unreleased like 3 months later. Yeah. They're like, actually, never mind.
Yeah, this is not good. So Amazon Game Studios.
Like, nah.
So Amazon Game Studios was in a little bit of a hole there. So they were really hoping for this game to do well, and they did not expect it to do as well as it's been doing. But it's well deserved. It's freaking Amazon, which Jeff Bezos and stuff.
Oh, is this made in their lumberyard engine?
Maybe.
I know what you mean.
Is it made in that
Wait,
one?
what are you
I'm
talking
guessing
about?
it
I don't know. Wait, what are you referring to? No, I don't know. You're not
No,
referring
so
to
Amazon
this is a real
Amazon
thing.
has its own
Lumberyard?
engine.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's their engine.
I thought you were
That's
talking
their
about
name
like this is their warehouse workers.
Okay, so according to Google, it is lumberyard.
Okay.
lumberyard.
There you go.
Yeah,
Some
Amazon has
guy's
their
like,
own engine.
It's been a 16-hour shift. I'm keying in blah, blah, blah. They'll still have to code that thing. They won't let us unionize. I don't know.
That's what I thought you were referring to, but okay. That's funny. Does New World have anything going for it that could make it as big as WoW or Final Fantasy 14 in the future? Asks Kumail in the chat. Does it have anything going for it? Yes, it does. It's a different kind of game. It's a game that if you don't like MMOs, you would like this one, because it's not that traditional style. I'm interested. I know it's Amazon, so they are going to support it for quite a long time. And obviously,
they
with
don't have a choice because it's basically their only
Yeah.
game,
Yeah.
except for
The thing is,
that one that they did like 10 years ago.
I feel like Amazon is going to become an MMO studio, though, because the next game that they are publishing is also an MMO. They're not making it, but they're publishing Lost Ark here. They're bringing it to the West, which is
They also
a
have
very
a
popular.
shit ton of servers. Like they are one of the
Yeah.
world's
Yeah.
leading
Yeah.
companies in terms of servers.
Well, you say that, and then still we have Gino waiting for hours.
But like that's the thing. They're not used to the amount of people that are signing up. Like Gino said, they weren't expecting it to hit this big.
They were not.
But they're not in a situation where like so many people are trying to play and the game just gets broken because the servers don't work. The AI can just be like, oh, well, we have all of this space, so just up this. We'll try and like maintain it and see where it actually needs to be at and stuff like that. So Kumail asks, is different enough in the chat, and I think with the hard hitting questions is different enough. I agree.
I think in the MMO space that we are in now, as we know, World of Warcraft is sort of on a downfall. Final Fantasy is rising. These are MMOs that you can compare them. You can compare them very well to each other because they're sort of the same thing, just different styles and stuff like that. I think for New World, the fact that it is different, the fact that it is unique, it is enough because this is going to bring people in that aren't used to playing games like that. And the fact that they have systems that I haven't seen before in any other MMO, with the PvP and with the way it plays and stuff like that. Obviously, we have MMOs like Black Desert, which plays very much like that, but that one's so heavily, I don't know, I think it's Japanese, I think, but it's so much part of that culture.
Which one? Black Desert?
Black Desert Online. Yeah, it's so part of that culture that it feels, it's sort of this cash shop, cash grab kind of
I
MMO.
think it's Korean.
Is it Korean? One of those.
South Korean.
Interesting. So the Lost Ark, the one that they're publishing, is South Korean. But the thing about New World is that it is that sort of action-oriented, very kinetic, very engaging combat. And it doesn't feel like any sort of pay to win. It's not any of that. They said this from the beginning. They're not going to do anything like that. Anything you pay for is purely cosmetic, which is a good thing for them to say. Not just do, but it's a good thing for them to say. I think they have a lot riding on this from that failure of Crucible, that they are thinking of this very they're not taking this lightly. They want this to succeed because they want to be part of that space. And
their backs up against the wall.
Yeah, and they have their backs up against the wall, and I think they're pushing back very well. So this, as long as they continue to support it, as long as they add things that they've promised they were going to add, they said the world is going to get bigger, so they are going to add mounts. I think as long as they continue to grow on what they're doing now, then it is going to be enough. It's definitely a fun game to play. That's what it needs to be. It needs to be fun. If you're going to be there for hours on end, it needs to be fun to be there. So, and that's what New World does. So, that they're going to do well. I believe they are.
Cool.
So there you go, my friends. We talked about New World. That's everything I was going to say in that news article. So we don't got to talk about it.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, there we have it. Ooh-wee. Before this, I said let's not spend a lot of time on what we've been playing. Am I right, guys?
Yeah.
But there we have it. We got a lot of news to talk about. But before we get into that, let's go into some housekeeping.
We put a lot of hard work into the shows that we make, and yes, we make multiple different shows here at the Whatnauts, and we'd love it if you would check them all out. You can find out more information on our website at thewhatnauts.com, as well as your favorite podcasting platform of choice. When you type in the Whatnauts, all of our shows will pop up right there. Just don't forget to give us a nice rating and review if you like the shows. If you want to support what we do here at The Whatnauts, patreon.com/The Whatnauts is the best place to do that. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. You can get all kinds of exclusive content at the $3 tier. You can also get a shout out and thank you on all of our shows at the $5 tier. You can support us on Twitch by subscribing to our channel at twitch.tv/The Whatnauts, and we would love to have you all join us for our live streams and talk with us in the chat. And lastly, we have merch. If you want to grab yourself a shirt or a sweatshirt or a mug or something else, go to thewhatnauts.com/store to pick up some merch today.
And we are back. I would like to thank our Patreon supporters at the $5 tier and above. Sam, thank you so much. Jatnamas in the chat, our moderator, and our supporter for so many years. Today is Alan's birthday. That is his gift from you to him. Your support. He knows it. He feels it. There you go.
Thank you, Alan, for your birthday. I'm so grateful.
There we have it. Any cool shows, Kyle, you want to shout out? What if?
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of cool stuff here on the Whatnauts. On the review show, we just started our spooky month. So all of this month in October, we're going to be doing horror movies and comics and TV shows, who knows what. The first one that we are recording tomorrow and will be out on Wednesday, this next week here, it is on an Australian movie called Lake Mungo. It's about the death of this young girl and the like supernatural stuff that occurs to her family and the house that they live in afterwards. And it's this like mockumentary style. So it's an interesting movie indeed. On top of that, on the captain's log, we had a really cool interview with Stephanie Cook recently. She is a writer and a comics creator. She has a few graphic novels that are out there. She's a podcaster and has a podcast all about like heist movies and stuff like that. And
the Capers.
The Capercast.
Follow me on Twitter, so shout out to the Capercast.
There you go. Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, we have all sorts of stuff. Ignacio, who decided to leave the podcast, him and I did our reactions to Star Wars Visions on the Reactor Core. So go check that stuff out as well. And of course, this next week is the final Marvel's What If. So we will be reacting to that as well. So go check all that stuff out.
There you have it. So many things. There you have it. All right, boys, let's get into the news of the week. All right, my friends. Number one here, we have Sony has acquired Bluepoint. Finally.
Finally.
Bluepoint Games most notably known for pristine remakes of Shadow of the Colossus and Demon's Souls has finally been acquired by PlayStation, making it the 16th member of the PlayStation Studios first-party family. In an interview on IGN here with Jonathan Dornbush, studio founder Marco Thrush confirmed that they are making original content moving forward. Kyle, how do you feel about them making original content instead of remakes? Or does that not mean that? We'll see.
I am totally fine with that. I think that is good for them. They have proven themselves time and time again with these remakes. And I know as a creative person, it's often good to kind of cut your teeth on that stuff and like, oh, okay, if I want to learn how to make something, maybe I can just mimic something else, right? And figure out how they made that. And yeah, they've been remaking these games, and if they can now make something of their own and just be like, hey, this is us. This is what we actually want to do and make. I'm excited to see what they do.
Yeah.
Screw that. Give me more remakes.
Ignacio, how do you feel that they are not working? We have heard of a Metal Gear Solid remake, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But how do you feel that Bluepoint isn't working on the remake that we've been hoping for then?
I mean, as a consumer that has enjoyed several of their remasters and their remakes, I, of course, would like them to do more of that. Them being bought by Sony opens up so many opportunities for them to work on different IPs. That being said, I do understand what Cal says, that as a creative person, you'd rather prefer, I think, work on your own things. But still, I think that they have so much potential that's their bread and butter that seeing them go like somewhere else, where do something else other than that. I think that there might be something that's being lost in the industry, because I think that the remakes and remasters have a good place in the industry.
Yeah.
And I like that Bluepoint is there as the people that do that, and they do the pretty much the best. So it's sad that might be lost.
I'm of two minds about this, guys. And you both touched on it. I think Bluepoint has done incredibly well with remakes. As we know, these are probably some of the best remakes we've ever seen, aside from Resident Evil 2 remake and stuff like that from Capcom. Shadow of the Colossus and Demon's Souls were incredible remakes. So
Metal Gear, they did the Metal Gear.
Oh, the collection,
remasters.
the remaster.
Yeah.
So I felt like Sony purchasing them was for that sort of to fill that hole of, okay, you guys are a studio that is going to make remakes and you're going to make really good ones. So you can revisit our old IP and remake this, and this is going to be incredible.
Remastered.
Because we know they're going to be great. But at the same time, I think that PlayStation is so good at building these relationships with studios and then finally purchasing them because they see something in them. And then most of the time they let them do what they need to do, what they want to do. I feel like aside from some things that we've heard of with Naughty Dog specifically and Bend, but if you've proven, I feel like to Sony, if you've proven yourself, then they're gonna let you do what you want to do. And I think Bluepoint has proven themselves in a way where it's like, we want to do our own thing because we know that we can, and Sony's like, okay. And it might have been where they have been working on something and Sony saw it, and then they were like, all right, we want this, so we are going to buy you. But I also think, since they have worked on remakes and remasters, do they have the team necessary to make a strong narrative action adventure game that Sony is known for? Do they have?
we don't know.
Yeah.
That.
Do they have a narrative
know.
team that knows how to write and stuff like that? Yes, Kyle.
Hi, Kyle Springer from the Whatnauts.com. I kind of hope they don't do a narrative adventure game like only what Sony does. I hope they do something else. That's just me personally.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with what Ignacio said too, right? They are really, really good at this one thing. And I think Sony having that card in their deck, so to speak, to kind of like, hey, we can, like, as technology is moving forward, we're starting to understand this idea of like, hey, we need to bring some of this older stuff up. And I think having them in the playbook is a good thing. That I think if they continued to do remakes and stuff like that, that would be a good get.
Yeah, that's the thing, because they bought, as we know, they bought Nixus to make PC ports, so they're gonna port their games to PC. Who did they buy recently? Firesprite to make a multiplayer game. So they have, like, they're making these purchases where you're gonna fill this spot. So Bluepoint could be that spot where you're gonna make the remakes. But yeah, it comes back to they trust in them. So if you think you're going to do something good, maybe they have seen it at this point. We don't know that. Then they're going to go ahead and do it. So
also, Bluepoint has only done one original game. One thing that they've done,
and it wasn't a narrative anything, right? It was like a weird,
it's called Blast Factor. It came out on the PS3, and it is an arcade game.
Yeah,
it's pretty much like Asteroids, but with like that aesthetic that you would have seen in the XBLA era of downloadable games, where it is very colorful, a lot of particle effects going on.
Gotcha.
But yeah, after that was their first game, and then after that it has all been either ports or remasters or remakes.
I see. So the last thing I wanted to bring up here with you guys, I wanted to ask you guys a question, because they bought Housemarque, correct? Sony bought Housemarque. They made that mistake where they showed Bluepoint, and it was like, yeah, Bluepoint would be the next logical studio that they're going to buy. After this, now we don't know who they could buy or who they could do, what they could do. So I'll start with you, Kyle. What do you think they're going to do next, or what do you hope they would do next? Do they buy something? Do they make something? What do you think?
I kind of mentioned it. I want to see them expand their portfolio. They have kind of cornered the market on these like third person narrative adventures, and they're really freaking good. I want more of them, but I also want to see something else, right? Like, I can't get past that first biome in Returnal because I suck. But I want to see more experimental stuff like that. I know that is technically also still a third-person narrative adventure, but still, like, I want to see them do more. Like, when are we gonna get like the Sony Studios RPG, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like, or a first-person shooter. We just saw them recently shut down the Killzone website to do something like that. But I think also we got hints that Guerrilla was also maybe working on first person something.
There's something I do want to mention about Guerrilla. We'll probably talk about it in the lightning round.
Expand their portfolio.
Yeah, I thought about this, and I wanted to ask you guys because I had a more specific answer. I want them to buy Ember Lab. I think the thing is, I think that Ember Lab, that being their first game, they have this immense amount of potential that I think if they, which they did have, I assume they were in Sony's pockets for Kena.
Have Ember Lab be the new Bluepoint. Be like, hey, Jack and Daxter could
there you go. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I think
hell yeah.
The thing is, I would love to see Ember Lab continue to do their own thing, because if they made Kena, it would be incredible to see what they can expand on.
Sly
But
Cooper needs a remaster.
It would also be incredible for them to have to bring Jack and Daxter back, because Sony, as you're saying, expand their catalog. They are lacking, but not so much in these small, characters that they like. A lot of their main characters are, Ellie, Joel, Jin, Sakai, Aloy, these humanoid characters, Nathan Drake. And they've started with Astrobot. They have Sackboy, which they don't pay much attention to, but they still have him there. I think if they have a studio like Ember Lab, Ratchet, yeah. If they have a studio like Ember Lab, which brings that sort of style to the family, they could make something magical, something really good.
Absolutely.
So I think an Ember Lab would be, which is another thing that they're so good at doing, which I've been saying, that, time and time again, is they're good at nurturing these studios and then finally buying them. So I think they should.
That's why I do not think that they would maybe
buy them. If there's
a possibility that they wouldn't do it right now, because if you look at their past track record, the studios that they have bought, it has usually been studios that they have worked together with for several years.
Yeah.
Insomniac, of course, we know that they did a lot of Sony games for so many years, and most recently Bluepoint had also done several things before. And so from this, it seems that they prefer to play it safe a bit, and then not play safe, but the studios that they buy are studios that it makes sense that, you are basically already part of us. Let's make it official.
Purposeful, calculated.
Yeah.
So is that what you would like to see them do, Ignacio?
What, buy Ember Lab?
No, I mean, like, what we're talking about. What is it that you'd want to see them do next?
I mean, of course, I would like them to be a bit more diverse onto what they put out. They used to be so diverse back in the day. They would put out so many different types of games. But that has, in recent years, they have just mainly focused on third-person narrative action games, and they have perfected that formula. I love all those games. But yeah, it would be nice for them to be a bit more crazy or go in different directions. I don't necessarily want the developers that they already have to do that, because we know that they are great at doing what they do. And so, cultivate more relationships. It doesn't need to be first party. They do not need to buy them. And they even do that. They partner with all these different studios. We talked about the partnerships with first-person shooter game studios and with other games that have come out, and they have done a good job of using second party as in a way to fill up those holes that they have. As to what developer I think they could buy next, like I said, they seem to tend to buy studios that they have already worked a lot on with, and I don't know what studio that could be. The only one that comes up to mind is Conic Dreams, which for so many years it has been a thing of, they're gonna buy them any day. And I think that,
but they had a falling out with them now, didn't they? They fought with them or something, which is what I've heard. Yeah, I've heard that they had they had some issue go on with them, and then that's why they never bought them.
Yeah, I do not remember. I think, but yeah, the only studio that comes to mind is Quantic Dreams. I cannot think of any other studio that has that relationship like Insomniac, like Housemarque, like them, where they are basically first-party studios, but without saying that they are first-party studios.
Yeah. So you guys added here, I don't know who added it. I don't know if it was you or Kyle, Ignacio.
That was me.
Fabric Games has been acquired by PlayStation-owned studio Firesprite. So I have heard of this. And from what I know about it, as we know, Firesprite is made up of a lot of people that were part of Sony Liverpool, I believe. And so Sony Liverpool became sort of Firesprite, then PlayStation purchased Firesprite. And the creative director or the owner of Firesprite, he had split off into two sort of teams, and then Fabric was one of them or something.
Interesting.
He created one of those. So I think what that was he was just merging both
reconsolidating.
Yeah, reconsolidating Fabric and Fire Sprite into one.
Good context, because I put this on here and was like, I'm not really familiar with either of these studios or what they've done, but from the small bit that I saw, it seemed like they had like a small working relationship already.
Yeah,
so
it was like their support studio. So I guess it just brought them into the hey, if you're gonna buy us,
Facebook official.
Yeah,
if you're gonna buy us, can our friend come too? Like it was like, I guess it was like that, you know.
It is funny how, like you mentioned, Fire Sprite used to be Sony Liverpool.
Yeah,
Sony Liverpool was shut down by Sony. Yeah. They were a first party studio, and they're basically bringing it back.
Yeah, I think that was just one of those things where it's like, it's just, don't bring it up. It just happens. Okay, that's how it is.
Yeah.
All right.
We had a breakup, but we're together now.
It's fine. But there you have it. So there we have it. Sony has acquired Bluepoint. Finally, we already knew that was gonna happen, but it's funny because then Bluepoint tweeted with that mistake. They were like, "We are independent. We are independent." But I think that was just so you don't know yet, But whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There you have it. All right, my friends, number 2 here. Konami is going hard on video games. So I got a report here from...
back.
Yeah, exactly. We have a report here from GameSpot. Eddie McCutch. So he has a write-up here. New details have come to light regarding future games from Konami. Sounds like the studio's ramping up its premium game development, and this could include a Castlevania reimagining, multiple new Silent Hill games, and a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. This information comes from reporter Andy Robinson, who shared the details during the VGC Off the Record podcast on Friday. Further details were published in this VGC story. Robinson said the Castlevania game is a reimagining of the series and that an internal studio in Japan is developing it alongside external partner studios in Japan. The Metal Gear project is said to be in the works at Virtuos, the Singapore-based studio that has worked on a series of high-profile games and ports, including Dark Souls and The Outer Worlds for Switch. And
very fitting name.
And finally,
very fitting name for the city.
And finally, multiple Silent Hill games are now in the works, one of which has been outsourced to a prominent Japanese developer, Robinson said. All of these new projects will begin to be announced in 2022. So, what do you mean about the name, Ignacio? Virtuos?
Funny enough that the studio is named Virtuos, because if you played Metal Gear Solid 3, the name of the first mission is the Virtuos mission.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that's why they chose that studio, huh? You bet, I think.
Also funny you have here that they are planning on a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3.
Mm-hmm. So how do you feel about that? Is that a good one? Metal Gear Solid 3?
I think.
What do you think? Does it deserve a remake?
I think any Metal Gear Solid game deserves a remake.
Mm-hmm.
Going for Metal Gear Solid 3, I think makes sense because you could work like chronologically with these games. Metal Gear Solid 3 is the earliest in the Metal Gear Solid chronology. And I also think that it is maybe in a certain way the easiest to remake without Kojima, because out of the Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 and 3 is the most straightforward. Like, this is the story, has a great plot, but it isn't so crazy and over the top with themes like Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2. And so I think that 3 is a good maybe a starting point for them, especially if they do not get Kojima on board.
Yeah. And this Silent Hill, these Silent Hill games, Kyle, have been outsourced to a Japanese developer. Do we know of a Japanese developer that makes horror games?
I'm sure there's a ton of them. I don't know which one is actually working on this because I don't pay attention to Silent Hill at all because I don't like horror games. But
that's why I'm asking you.
Capcom or Sega or something like that seems to be a prominent
Japanese,
Japanese developer, right?
Could be Capcom.
I could see Capcom.
But
yeah.
I'm saying, who's developing Ghostwire Tokyo? I want to look that up right here. Ghostwire Tokyo.
That's Bethesda.
Well, no,
that's Bethesda.
Yeah.
who's they're publishing? Who's developing it? Tango Gameworks.
Is it not? Are they
Tango
not part of
Gameworks?
Bethesda?
Bethesda is publishing it. They're not developing. Tango Gameworks.
So Tango is not a part of Bethesda.
No, they're not. Tango Gameworks is a Japanese video game developer based in Tokyo.
Okay.
So I've heard rumors of Tango working on a Silent Hill game.
It could be that, but they're still in the midst of
Ghostwire Tokyo, yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it'd be a ways away then.
Look at this, and then there's an article on IGN here. 2 days ago. Tango Gameworks is already developing its next game after Ghostwire Tokyo. So look at that, the pieces are falling. There you have it.
Take that with a grain of salt, though, because yes, about this time is probably when they would be like, okay, we need to start like spinning up the wheels for the next thing. But it's just like, okay, who has an idea? Like I think that's the kind of stage they would be at, something similar to that, of just like, all right, we're just starting this.
Counter to that, Gino.
Yes,
I have here a story from Gematsu that also reports on Konami, and also includes that there is, according to a publishing source, the studio could be Kojima Production with funding of Sony.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Prominent Japanese and a studio.
Yeah. There you have it. And what else do we have here? Castlevania? I'm not sure.
Castlevania.
Into Castlevania there.
Castlevania. Depends on the Castlevania game. The reimagining word that they use here,
that's an iffy
it
word.
Could mean, it could mean, we're going to do something that's not the Castlevania that you think.
Action adventure RPG Castlevania.
They kind of did that.
Breath of the Wild. Yeah.
No, the last Castlevania games that they did were the Lords of Shadow games, and those were third-person action games.
Really?
I think that reimagining could be something like that.
Those were good games, actually. Those were pretty cool games.
Were they?
I thought they were pretty cool.
That's not what I've heard.
I played a little bit of one. I thought they were pretty cool games, actually.
Not what I've heard. So reimagining could be something like that, or it could be we are reimagining the formula of the Metroidvania Castlevania, which is something that I would love to see.
I see.
We saw I think one of the people that work on the original Castlevania games make now Bloodstain, and that was a very good Metroidvania game. And I think with what we're seeing here, it seems that Konami realized that, hey, we have a lot of things that we are not doing. We have a lot of IP that we're not using. Let's use that. I think that this comes from a restructuring that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that this sounds to me as we know what people want. We know that people want new Metal Gear Solid games, or at least they want remakes.
Yeah.
We know that they want Silent Hill back, and we know that they want Castlevania back. And I think, there's a good chance that it could be, hey, let's bring it back to the Metroidvania.
Yeah, these are huge IPs. It would be foolish of them to not bring them back eventually. So it is it's very good to see Konami come to their senses and finally return to the video game development side of the industry.
Well, they never left, to be honest. They always... They
stopped for a little bit. They stopped for a little bit.
I don't know about that.
They had Pro Evolution Soccer, and they still had the Yu-Gi-Oh games come out yearly.
That's true.
Yeah. But I mean, like,
so technically they never left.
They weren't as big as they were. Let's say that. They weren't as big as they used to be. So, but now they're going to come back. All right, my friends, let's move on from Konami to Netflix, believe it or not. Number 4 here. Yeah. Netflix has acquired Night School Studio. So let me read this. First of all, let me just, if you guys don't know, Night School Studio are the developers of Oxenfree, After Party, which you played is on Game Pass, and they are now making Oxenfree 2. Very, very good games. Very good games if you've played them. But this is a write up from the blog at Night School Studio, specifically on their website. Let me read this whole thing here. As of today, Night School Studio is joining the Netflix team. Over the last few months, we've had countless thoughtful chats about our respective visions for where we see games, storytelling, and our collective opportunity for positive impact somewhere in the middle. Night School Studio wants to stretch our narrative and design aspirations across distinctive original games with heart. Netflix gives film, TV, and now game makers an unprecedented canvas to create and deliver excellent entertainment to millions of people. Let me skip ahead here. Of course, it's a surreal honor to be the first game studio to join Netflix. Not only do we get to keep doing what we do, how we like to do it, but we get a front row seat on the biggest entertainment platform in the world. The Netflix team has shown the utmost care for protecting our studio culture and creative vision. We'll keep making Oxenfree 2, and we'll keep cooking up new game worlds. So I have played Oxenfree. I'm super looking forward to Oxenfree 2. And After Party I did not get a chance to play, but I've heard well about it. I think this is an incredible first purchase for Netflix to break into the video game industry. And
good on them, yeah.
I think this is telling of what they are going to want to bring to the service. Because if you haven't played Oxenfree, it is that sort of walking simulator kind of game where it's just mainly narrative based. There's no action. It's not an FPS or a freaking fighting game or anything. It's just you're walking around, you're chatting with people, and you're doing the different stuff. So I think Netflix purchasing a small studio, Night School Studio, which makes games like that, it gives this sort of I don't know the word for it, but it shows that the future of what they're going to have on the service is these kinds of Annapurna interactive narrative kinds of games.
They are not going for the first-person action games.
They're not going to try to compete with, every other streaming service that has all kinds of games and stuff like that. They're going to be very thoughtful about what they're putting on the service. And I think that's awesome. What do you think, Kyle?
I thought this was a great first move for Netflix. We know that Netflix has been trying to get into games for a long, long time. They've done the Minecraft story mode thing on Netflix. They did the Black Mirror Bandersnatch choose your own adventure thing. And I know currently I believe they are testing mobile games and stuff out in Sweden, if I'm not mistaken. Which there's a million developers out there who make mobile games, so they can just kind of reach out and get that. But yeah, if you think about it strategically, this still makes sense, right? Of okay, we're already testing these mobile games. What's the next step up from that, right? And it's these stylistic 2D story games, maybe more. I always forget the name of the genre, the interactive novel thing, whatever.
Visual novel.
You guys, those. Which I know Oxenfree is not necessarily that thing, but right, it is this story. It seems more like a cartoon at times. It does. They have pixel art. Netflix released the Stranger Things game, which was a pixelated beat 'em up, I think,
something like that.
Yeah, kind of.
So this seems like hey, we've dipped our toes into the mobile market where we've been feeling that stuff out. I think we're ready to get the one that is the next step up, and I think Night School is a great purchase.
Yeah, I can tell that whoever they have working on the video game team at Netflix knows what they're doing, because for them to acquire Night School, which is, they are known if you know video games, but not a known studio that, Google, if someone that came in that didn't know video games, they would purchase this. They make video games, let's buy them. they really thought about this. So I think whoever's on that team is really thinking about what they can bring to the service. Because the thing is, it's not like they're releasing on console or anything. These games are going to be streamed, just like they stream the movies and shows and stuff. So you aren't gonna want an intensive game or anything like that. These games are gonna be done like that.
To me, it screams like they are wanting to take the like slow, cautious approach, and not not in a bad way, right? Like we've tried to see Google get into the video game space. We've tried to see Amazon get in that space, and they always be like, we have to make the biggest, best thing to make an impact. And I think something like Netflix buying Night School is like, look, we'll start making games.
Yeah.
We'll start building out that catalog. We'll put out solid stuff so that after we get 3 or 4 of those things, maybe we can take that next step up, right? And then 10 years down the road, we might be playing like the world's biggest RPG from Netflix.
Exactly.
Right? Who knows?
Ignacio, I'll throw this over to you. Do you think that after Oxenfree 2, which we know is coming to consoles, are we going to see Night School make a game exclusively on Netflix? And then eventually will we see Netflix publishing their own games that are coming to console? Will we see stuff like that, do you think?
I can see it go
controller.
No, I don't think they would put out a controller.
Right? To like
I think that they could go either way with it. I think that for this studio in particular, what I think it is such a good purchase for them is that their games are perfect for on your phone. If you are a regular person that has a regular Netflix subscription, you can just pick it up on your phone and you have it. You do not need to know how to play with a controller or anything like that. I can see it go either way. I don't know if necessarily they will put it exclusively on their platform, only because I don't know how many games they would have in their platform to make it that be worthwhile. If it is just, hey, we have Oxenfree 3 and you can only play it here, I don't know if that would make actual financial sense. If they have a catalog of games that they have that they can make exclusive, then I think that you can make an argument for them not releasing their games on other places, because now people would come here for the games, not just for the one game. So it depends on how they go with other games.
Yeah, I see. But yeah, there we have it, my friends. That is Night School Studio joining Netflix. It makes me hopeful for what Netflix is going to do, because when you think about all these other, companies like Google and Amazon trying their own streaming service, never really interested in them. But Netflix, coming into the fray with the purchase of a studio, and a very specific one, makes it seem like they know better what they're doing than Google and Amazon. So
I agree.
And Amazon, we see, has their own game studio now. So I think they're just gonna focus on that. Forget about Luna. You know what I mean? But there we have it. All right, my friends. Let's move on to the final story I have here. Tokyo Game Show. A lot of random stuff was announced. So I'm gonna click through these websites here, and I'm going to bring up random things that they announced. So Xbox had a live stream, Capcom had a live stream, and Square Enix had a live stream. As far as I know. Because I know Tokyo Game shows a lot of stuff.
Square Enix one, since that's maybe a little bit more your ballpark.
Okay. So,
your ballpark. So
let's start with the Square Enix one. Let me see here. Because the thing is, we got a lot of updates. So we got a trailer for Triangle Strategy, as we know, is coming in March 2022. We got another trailer for The Voice of Cards, The Dragon Isle Roars, which we know is the game that we talked about previously, from the Nier crew, Yoko Taro. Echoes of Mana, coming in 2022. This is a mobile game in the Mana series. So we have that. And this other game looked a little weird to me. Dungeon Encounters. Very weird name too. Just a basic ass name here. Dungeon Encounters. It's like a dungeon crawler.
Better than Triangle Strategy.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's
not
kind
much, but it's better.
It's in that camp. But this one is helmed by Final Fantasy 6 and 12 designer and Final Fantasy 12 and Tactics A2 designer. So there you have it. It's just a weird dungeon crawler. You can check it out if you want.
Yeah.
We got another trailer for Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier, which we know is the mobile battle royale. This one's coming later in the year. And then we got another trailer for Chocobo GP, which is my game of the show from the Nintendo Direct. As we know, that's the Mario Kart killer. So that's coming 2022.
That's what everyone's calling.
And then the thing that everyone was talking about, Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, as we know, is that Dark Souls-like Final Fantasy game coming out later in the year. Or not later in the year,
That's
sorry.
The one that they're there to kill chaos.
Yes, the ones that they're there to kill. And a funny clip was circulating on Twitter where the guy starts playing Limp Bizkit, the main protagonist. You didn't see this, guys?
Oh,
He's
no.
like, someone's
I didn't see this at all.
Someone is saying like this emotional thing, and then the main protagonist goes bullshit, and then he starts playing. He pulls out his iPhone. He pulls out his iPhone, starts playing Limp Bizkit, and walks away. It's like, what the heck is this game, dude? What is this game?
Oh God, what the fuck?
But
well, we'll learn soon enough on March 18th.
March 18th, 2022. So 10 days before my birthday. 10 days before my birthday.
That January, February, March
18th in 2022. That's 4 days before Triangle Strategy of when they released that one. I think.
So Triangle Strategy or Final Fantasy Origin? Which one you gonna pick, guys? Huh?
I guess I don't know the actual release date of that, but it's like right around there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that January, February, March time period, 2022 will be wild.
So
filled with Sony.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that was Square Enix's show there. So let me move on to Capcom. They had a lot less stuff here. A lot of stuff for Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter Rise. We got some more details on the Sunbreak expansion.
It's because it was a Monster Hunter showcase.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't watch TGS.
No. Oh well. Wait. No. Yeah.
So okay. So we got Monster Hunter Rise.
No. What? There's a one non-Monster Hunter. Thank you.
Okay.
That must have been there. One more thing.
Monster Hunter Rise is coming to Steam in January. So there you have it. That's pretty cool, actually. January 12th, 2022. 30th anniversary Sonic the Hedgehog collaboration in Monster Hunter Rise. And a Ghost and Goblins collaboration as well. We got some more free DLC for Monster Hunter Stories 2. And Capcom expands Street Fighter V tournament to 8 teams. That's what you're talking about, Ignacio?
Yeah.
Why did I didn't have to mention that. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
come on, dude.
That didn't
shut up,
need
dude.
to be in that presentation.
Okay. Moving on. So Xbox had their very own live stream at TGS. And what did we have here? Let's see, because I the biggest news was the top one here that I have here. So let me start from the bottom. They had a lot of stuff here, actually. Look at this.
I wouldn't call it a lot. No, okay, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a good. Let me see what I could mention here.
It's a lot, but it's all small stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so look, Eternal
like...
Return. As you guys know, I did play this game a long time ago. Eternal Return Black Survival. It was like a MOBA anime battle royale kind of game. Do you guys remember me playing this? Yeah. I played this on Steam randomly, and it's coming to the Windows Store. And it has special perks for Game Pass subscribers. So there you have it. What else do I have here? New
Game Pass? New games going to Game Pass?
Yes, that's what I was going to mention, but I was looking at what other stuff is here. So we got, I guess this is the only thing I'll mention. So the new games coming to Game Pass that day, as they announced them, they came to Game Pass, which is freaking awesome. The Somnium Files, and Scarlet Nexus. So I downloaded Scarlet Nexus. This is one of those games that I was like, should I buy this? And I didn't buy it. And look at that. Came to Game Pass. Freaking incredible. And that's some of the biggest announcements at TGS Xbox conference. Anything else that I missed, guys, that you think was worth mentioning?
No? Overall, I don't think any of these games really stand out, but it just shows that Xbox is trying to get into the Japanese market.
Yeah.
These games are very clearly Japanese.
Yeah, a lot of these are, 100%.
So yeah, this is very clearly them trying.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Ayuden Chronicle Rising. I think that's from the developers of Suikoden. Ayuden Chronicle. I don't know. That's very Japanese, but I have a friend that loves Suikoden. So I think Ayuden Chronicles from people that worked on it. But there you have it. Yes, Ayuden Chronicle Rising is a spin-off to the spiritual successor of the acclaimed Suikoden RPG series. You see, guys, I freaking know my shit, man. I know my stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Kyle, like, you gotta listen to me because I know what I'm talking about, man. I know what I'm talking about.
Stop doubting Gino.
It's going to his head.
I know what I'm talking about over here. I know what I'm talking. It was pretty crazy. There you have it. So that's TGS. Is TGS over, guys? Do you guys know this? Is it over?
I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
There is some other stuff that was mentioned at TGS that I do want to bring up, but that's in the lightning round. Or actually, you know what? I'll mention it here and I'll just erase it there. Another thing that was mentioned at TGS, the producer for Final Fantasy 16, Naoki Yoshida, he has stated, the game wasn't at TGS, but he has stated that they are in sort of the final stages of the game. They are what exactly did he say here? I wrote it up. Let me see. He said there's only a few quality improvements left to be done on the game. So just little, quality of life things and stuff like that. Some side quests that they gotta finish, and they're almost done. So that game is a lot further along than I thought it was, because we haven't seen it since its announcement. But there you have it. There you have it, my friends. That is it for TGS. That is it. So let's move on to new and notable.
There we go. Welcome back to Crossplay. Here are all the new and notable video games that are coming out this week.
A lot of stuff.
We got Alan Wake Remastered out on all the modern consoles, as well as PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. That's out October 5th, which by time this podcast goes public, that'll be today. We got Jet the Far Shore out on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. That's also out on October 5th. We got Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl on all the modern consoles, including PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC.
Heck yeah.
Also,
speaking of October 5th, wait, before you move on. Speaking of October 5th, we will also learn the new Smash Bros.
Oh,
the final
yeah.
DLC character.
Yeah. I think it's Sora, guys.
Interesting.
God, I hope.
Who knows? Gino, who will you be playing in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl? Who's your main?
I'm thinking either Reptar or Aang or Cat Dog. We'll have to see.
Good choices.
Yeah.
Did you say the thing where they have Aang sitting there making the ball and he has that like big goofy face?
It looks like a good. It's gonna be a fun game, man. I think it's gonna be really fun.
We shall see.
Yeah.
We shall see.
We'll see.
Did you enjoy the Nickelodeon car racing game?
I've never heard of that game. I don't know what you're talking about, Ignacio. I'm sorry.
Moving on, we got Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and Xbox. You guys know the Xbox series that are out there. Yeah, also on PlayStation console. 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC.
I think you should just say every console. Instead of like saying
it's out on everything. Yeah. Moving on from October 5th, finally, is Far Cry 6. That's out on everything, including Stadia and Mac.
Oh, let me stop you here.
But not
Let
the
me
Switch.
stop you here. Lit Mommy in the Twitch chat did enjoy Nick Kart Racing and Monkey Ball. So
Okay.
there you have it.
Okay.
There you go. Monkey
Okay.
Ball is
There you
good.
have it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not on the Far Cry 6 is not on the Switch, but that is out on October 7th. Then we got Metroid Dread on the Switch,
yeah.
October 8th.
Heck yeah.
On that same day, we got Tetris Effect Connected also coming to the Switch. Shortly after that, on October 12th, is Back for Blood on all of the major consoles except for the Switch.
And on Game Pass.
then we got- Yes, that will also be on Game Pass as well. After that, we got Disco Elysium, the final cut, coming to Xbox Series as well as Xbox One and Switch on October 12th. Ori, the collection, will be out on Switch on October 12th. Battlefield 2042 has its open beta on October 6th through the 9th. So be on the lookout for that one.
October 6th and 7th are if you pre-ordered it, and October 8th and 9th are if for free. There you have it.
Good to know. Strangers of Paradise will have its second demo. It is available now until October 11th.
Yes.
So if you guys want to play the edgelord guy that plays Limp Bizkit and wants to kill chaos,
it is. It is
also
also
that's the right one, right?
Yes, it's also a 3-player co-op demo. So that game is going to be a 3-player co-op. Yeah.
Oh.
I guess that's how many are in your party.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And last but not least, the Game Awards is returning as an in-person event on December 9th, 2021. So mark your calendars, save the date. Most of us aren't going to be going to that because we're not cool and invited and stuff like that.
We should send one of you.
I am. I'm going.
There you
You're
go.
lying. You're lying.
That'll be on December 9th.
You should
I'm gonna be watching that from the comfort of my bed.
Be our own field.
Yep.
Our own field correspondent.
One day.
Get us an interview with Chili.
Yeah. But that is it for all of the new and notable stuff this week, as well as some new dates that you need to know about. So that about wraps us up. The new and notable is now old and noted. With that, though, let's get on to the lightning round.
Okay. First up, we have Techland has revealed that actress Rosario Dawson will be portraying a character named Loan in Dying Light 2.
Whoa! You know who's going to be the protagonist? Chris Pratt, baby.
No idea.
Heck yeah, dude. I'm just kidding,
Wait, so
guys.
Mario is in Dying Light 2?
What?
Yeah.
I believe it's Sonic that's in Mario in Dying Light 2.
What?
Weird.
Roger Craig Smith.
Okay.
Is it not Roger Craig Smith, the protagonist?
I don't know, dude. I was just joking.
Then why are you bringing up Chris Pratt?
Because he's Mario.
So
It's
what?
timely, Ignacio. It's timely. Rosario Dawson,
No,
as
it
we know,
isn't.
though, from is she Ahsoka?
Yep, she plays
Yeah,
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka
She's in
in-
Cage. She's you guys know her.
Yeah.
We all like her.
Yeah.
We all love her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, she is Ahsoka.
I thought
in
she was the girl.
Mandalorian.
I mistook her with the girl from Westworld. What's her name? Do we know her? Because I have a story about that girl from Westworld. I've seen her. I saw her at
I
Target.
have no idea who she is.
I saw her at Target once, and she was not having it.
Oh,
Sandy
man.
Newton.
Whoa.
Sandy Newton. That's it. Saw her at
Sandy
Saw her at
Brandy
Target here in my
Newman.
neighborhood, and she was just getting some chocolates. She got a Dove chocolate and just walked straight to the register. She was not having it, dude. There you have it.
Must have been a day.
What's up next?
Randy Newman.
You misheard.
What?
You misheard.
Just Randy?
I was looking up who was the voice of the main character of Dying Light. Dying Light 1, it is Roger Craig Smith.
Oh, okay.
I think they might have changed it for Dying Light 2.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Oh, it is different protagonists. Could have done it was the same protagonist.
No, you die at the end.
Okay. Next up, Kratos actor Christopher Judge says that God of War Ragnarok was delayed due to him having surgery in 2019.
So I got a few things to say about this. Did you guys see his tweet? Did you guys see his
I
tweet?
did, yeah.
His tweet was very emotional, and very like, it was one of those tweets where I was like, I felt like he's saying this at the studio in front of an audience or something, and then someone else, like that's part of the team, stands up and is like, no, it's my fault that it got delayed. Like, I feel like everyone would stand up and be like, no, it's my fault. Like, it felt like that kind of tweet.
I'm Spartacus.
Yeah, it felt like that kind. But I feel at the same time, guys, if he had the surgery in 2019 and it got delayed back then, how did they still say 2021 when they announced it? You know what I mean?
Sometimes they do that. They announce a thing even though they know it's already delayed, and they're just going to do the delay announcement that next week.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, glad to have him back.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed.
Next up, Bandai Namco has a new logo. If you didn't know.
Wow, who put this in here, dude? That is so not news.
Cal, do you even have the picture of the logo?
I didn't put this one in there.
Oh yeah, can you bring the logo up? Can you bring the logo up?
No way, I didn't put it here.
Let me look.
It wasn't me.
This logo, because it's
Gino, it was you.
Not.
I put it in there.
It's not a particularly
Okay.
great logo.
Yeah, I put it in there because I thought it was kind of.
It's not bad, but it's just like it looks like it looks like it's just a very generic logo. See, new
the Bandai logo, Namco, everyone knows it. It's iconic.
Yeah, it is so iconic, but now I feel like, is that new logo gonna be on their games? You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be that logo at the bottom now, like when you buy like
this
a
reminds me
game or something.
Reminds me a lot of when they used to be Namco Bandai, and they changed it to Bandai Namco.
Because it makes alphabetical sense. Just makes alphabetical sense.
Oh, come on! Why is that on that thing? That's not right.
So yeah, Gino, how are you doing?
I don't know. We're just trying to see this Namco Bandai Namco. I mean, Namco. Where isn't it? They were two separate companies though, right? Ignacio, it was Namco and Bandai. They were two separate companies.
I think so.
And then they merged, similar to how Square Enix was Squaresoft and Square Enix.
Yeah.
And then
I think they might have been
not Squaresoft and
two separate. But yeah, they merged into Namco Bandai.
Yeah.
Although I think that they were Namco Bandai on certain territories, and other territories were Bandai Namco, and I think they changed it to officially be one as Bandai Namco.
You don't gotta worry about it, Kyle. If it's too complicated, just a regular.
Yeah, I don't know why it's taken.
I think it might be the new update with the software here, because it normally automatically switches to the current tab you have up, but now I think you can screen capture tabs.
When I see
you don't have it up. So I think it just defaulted to that. So with that, I think I fixed it. Here we go. This is the new Bandai Namco logo right here. This like talk bubble looking thing.
Audio listeners, it's just a regular Bandai Namco as we know. And then now they're showing the new logo here, which is Bandai Namco. It looks like the same. Is it the same font?
No, I don't think it is.
No, it's not.
No.
It's slightly different.
It looks softer. It looks like a softer font in black letters.
It's
with
a
like
rounded font. Yeah. But not all of it is rounded. It's kind of strange.
With like a pink like text bubble around it, sort of like
Can you click on the second picture of the second row? No, that one. That one.
Yes.
They also added. Yeah, they also added the sub.
So like the words under each other or whatever. Fun for all into the future. What is that?
So I think that's like their official
slogan.
Corporate. Here is our official.
Look at look at the push square set here. Bandai Namco reveals new logo. Everyone hates it. Why does that? It doesn't matter, dude.
This is the thing. Like their slogan is "Fun for all into the future," and nothing about this logo screams fun or future.
Yeah.
And it's a
The other one was
bubble,
more fun.
and
Yeah.
as far as I know, they don't publish comics or stuff like that. So it's just an odd choice of like, why a talk bubble? Like, they make toys, action figures. They have stuff that is maybe in comics, but they're not necessarily the ones like.
We want to be
publishing those.
No, I think
serious
that
now,
they
guys.
do make.
What?
I think they do make certain manga, especially with their franchises. With Digimon, for example, I know that they have.
Well, they want to be
publish
taken.
it though. Is it not published from like Viz or something like
I
that?
think
Like they might license it out.
I don't know if they are licensed or not. I think they might do it themselves, but they put it up on the V Jump, the series of.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
But you were right. They used to be Bandai and Namco,
Yes.
and in 2005 they did merge.
Well, now they're gonna be taken more seriously, guys. Okay.
Sure.
There you have it.
Indeed.
What's
Indeed.
next?
Bandai Namco. Fun for all into the future.
Who would have thought that story would have taken up so much time?
Yeah.
Next up, Ilphonic, known for the Friday the 13th game and the Predator Hunting Grounds game, is now working on a Ghostbuster game.
Ooh.
This is officially, it was confirmed by someone at Ilphonic, I forgot who it was, but...
Who are you gonna call?
Yeah.
Who are you gonna call?
Not you.
Who are you calling,
Yeah.
Ignacio? Tell me. Who are you calling for real? I saw you pull your phone out. I saw you pull your phone out. Who are you calling?
Ghostbusters? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I need a new game. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Talk to you later.
All right. I'm probably gonna get an early code for this.
Why?
I don't know.
Moving
Just
on.
being like, yep, I want one.
Moving on. PlayStation has introduced free game trials. So, yeah.
What's the story?
Free
What's
game
the
trials.
story, Ignacio? I don't get it. Yeah.
So apparently they started this thing where now for Death Stranding and for Sackboy, you can actually download the games and you can play them for a certain amount of time for free. They are labeled as free trials. They're a free trial just like anywhere else. The only difference here is that I think it starts counting the time from when you started downloading the game as opposed to when you started the game.
Which absolutely doesn't. It doesn't make sense, so I don't believe you. That doesn't make sense. So I don't believe you.
I mean, with the way that PlayStation has been handling the PlayStation 5 and all of that stuff recently, kind of makes sense that that's what they would do.
God, that's so dumb. But who would think that? Who would think all right, guys, let's give them free trials, but let's make it start when they start.
Okay, here I have it. Here I have the fine print.
What does it say?
I have the fine print here. So it says 5-hour trial available until, and this is for Sackboy, until October 28th, 2021. Trial period starts from the time you click download trial via console or add to library via web.
Who thought of that, dude? That's just mean. It's just mean. It's like, what if my thing takes
terrible internet?
Yeah, what if my thing takes 2 hours to download? And I only have 3 hours. That's exactly what they're saying. If you're
no.
if you
get a second job and buy better internet.
Yeah.
They're like, well, I mean, what? Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? What do you want us to do about it? Huh? Okay? What do you want us to do about it? That's PlayStation. There you have it.
So yeah, you have 6 hours for Death Stranding and 5 for Sackboy.
Nice. I'm gonna download that now. Actually, because I want to play Death Stranding.
When are you gonna play it?
Just for 5 hours.
Soon.
Just for
Better
5 hours. Yeah.
Next up, a new Twisted Metal game is reportedly in development at PlayStation by Lucid Games, the creators of Destruction All Stars.
Yeah, there you have it. Destruction All Stars, I guess, was their test run for a Twisted Metal game.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
Next up, we have Twitch has announced a new feature, phone verified chat, which will require some or all users to verify a phone before chatting. And also, the last story also for Twitch. Twitch is also set to test a new boost feature, essentially putting discoverability on the platform behind a paywall.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Which, man, so the first one is a good idea. I think that will help a little bit, but it doesn't solve the issue of
hate rates.
What has been plaguing their platform that we are live on right now. It is a good thing because that will help to solve that, but it's not foolproof, I don't think. Right, you can still somehow get around that, make up fake phone numbers and stuff. If you know how to
I don't think that's how it works.
All that stuff.
No, I think at least for how it works now for account verification, if you want a second step verification, it does send you a text. So I'm guessing it means that it's not just put in a phone number and you put in any number.
I'm not saying that some Joe Schmo can just make up a 555-555-555. It's not that. But like if some hacker out there or something wants to make a script that is the thing that makes all of those multiple accounts that are all the exact same name follow you, all of that stuff, then I feel like there are ways to still fudge that and figure it out. But like we said, this will help. It'll make it tougher, but still doesn't necessarily solve the thing. But the thing that pisses me off is the second one. The second thing. This is awful. This is terrible. This new boost feature. I haven't seen anyone being like, this is a good idea.
Nobody, no.
Twitch has been failing at discoverability basically since they started. And they haven't done anything to help fix that. You just hopefully have to be good at social media or stuff like that, or already have some kind of built-in following. And if you don't, you're kind of out of luck. And this boost feature, I think they had good intentions of being like, oh, Gino, he streams. Actually, it's Alan's birthday. How about I boost both of their streams so they can be on the front page? And that's a cool idea. So that will help some. But we know that the ones who will actually get this are the popular ones. Like it's not going to be Joe Schmo with 2 followers and no one watching.
Yeah, I saw someone post on their Twitter. I signed in. I logged onto Twitch without logging in or whatever. I opened Twitch without logging in, and the ones that it recommends to you is all like this is the very top streamers of their
which this is kind of them shooting themselves in the foot, especially after Dr. Lupo and Tim the Tap Man just left for YouTube.
The more people are going to keep
not a good look. So hopefully this does not stick around, at least in this iteration.
The way I see it is this is just a way for them to have another source of income for people that are going to fall for it. I don't think it's going to boost anything. I think it's going to look like it's boosting your stream, but it's not going to do anything for you. And unfortunately, there is people out there that are going to use it. They're going to, I want more people to notice my stream, so they're going to do it.
Yeah.
But it's not going to help much at all, I think.
Right, because how much if I pay, I don't know, $15 to be on the front page, but at that exact same time, there's 4,000 other people also paying for that. Like, where exactly will I be on the front page? How long will I be on there? Is there a waiting list? Like, do I pay in advance for a day? It's not a good feature. So it makes Twitch pay to win.
Pay to win. There you go. Twitch
good.
is now pay to
Not good.
win, my friends. But at least Twitch, owned by Amazon, has New World, and that's not pay to win. So if you want to stop using Twitch, maybe start playing New World instead, which is also owned by Amazon. Just you can't escape, guys. Okay, just deal with it. All right.
I mean, technically, aren't all games that you have to buy pay to win? Because if you don't buy them, then you can't win.
Yeah. I mean,
Right? Yeah.
we should change let's change the.
Gino, I know what I'm talking about.
You do it.
Okay?
Whoa, relax.
Okay.
Whoa, okay. That's true, though. That's true.
Battle of the Minds.
Okay. So that is it, my friends, for the lightning round. And that is it for everything we had to talk about on this meaty episode of Crossplay here. A nice little meaty episode. A good little celebration of Alan's birthday, I feel that we had here. Kyle, what are you looking forward to this week?
I am going to be finishing up Psychonauts 2 and then jumping into Toem and hopefully finishing that.
Nice. Ignacio, what about you?
Keep going at it with Lost Judgement. Play more of that.
Awesome. My friends, I'm going to find a way to compartmentalize I said that weird. Compartmentalize. I want to find a way to manage my time better and play all these games that I want to play. I want to play Tales of Arise, Life is Strange. Kyle, Life is Strange, pretty short, right?
Pretty short, yeah.
I feel like I should focus on that one. Like blaze through that one, focus on that one, then switch to Tales of Arise. Then play some Artful Escape, then watch some Squid Game, then play some Eastward, then watch some Midnight Mass. You know what I mean? It's freaking crazy, dude.
Sure, all of that for
and then
next
at
week.
9:30 a.m. I'm gonna do this, and then at 10 a.m. I'm gonna do that.
Yes, exactly. Oh, good Lord, my friends. That is so much to do. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited that I have so many things to do and to figure out how I'm gonna do it. You guys can find me over on Twitter at Gino_VTerry and Twitch GinoVII. Kyle, where can the people find you on the internet?
At Yo Kyle Springer on Twitter.
Ignacio Rojas, how do you spell your thing on Twitter? How do you do it?
My thing, you mean my Twitter handle?
Yeah, your handle.
Find me on Twitter at Ignacio Rojas B. That's IGNACIOROJASB.
Wow. And let's do Alan Busby at Twitter. I think that's it, right?
At Twitter.
At Alan Busby on Twitter. I think that's it, right? Alan Busby. There you have it. Nice little shout out. And happy birthday to Alan once again. He turned 40 tonight.
Birthday indeed.
He's having he's probably not doing anything, and he just didn't want to be on the episode, to be honest with you guys.
Yep.
So anyway.
You'll
If
eat
you
that giant
guys,
burrito.
and this is also the second episode that Alan misses, so or third, I believe. So if you guys think Alan's gonna come back and you're hoping for it, you could check us out at the Whatnauts on your podcast service of choice, on YouTube, on Facebook, and I think Alan is creating a new app to put us on there as well, called the Whatnauts. So you can find all our stuff on there.
It's not, but okay.
You
What are you talking about?
find all our different
use our
shows
Facebook.
on there, my friend. But today, whenever you're listening to this has been Crossplay, and you have been played.
Bye.
See you guys.